Hello and welcome to another episode of Being with Tim. 2 weeks ago, or as I covered in episode 14, my hives were suffering from colony collapse disorder. And as a treatment for that, we put in some formic acid vaporizing pads. They smell really strong. It burns to just breathe around here right now. And as of today, the pads are out and we're going to check in how the bees have been faring. And as I said in the last episode, episode 14, take a look at that. You know, the stuff is pretty tough and it killed a lot of the mites, but it also killed some bees. Each of these big hives, 1, 2, 3, and 4, have been treated with formic acid vapor. And so we'll see what happens to them. And we'll actually start with this monster of a hive right here. And the first thing I'll point out is the entrance. Now look at this. So there's bees, so you might think everything is fine. But look at that. It's messy. See all those little dirt granules sitting around the entrance? Now take a look at another hive. This is what a clean porch looks like, right? This is not a clean porch. So something is already giving me a hint that, you know, something happened here. So let's take a look inside. Pay attention to the bees as I open this, okay? There's bees. So far, so good. So I've opened a lot of hives over the years, and these bees are behaving somewhat differently. They have a different energy about them. And I'll show you what I mean when I pull out a frame. So what we have here is robbing. This hive is dead. It was robbed by other bees, and they have torn open the capping. You can see that, you know, some cells are still full of honey here, but everything else has just been brutally torn open. You can see they didn't take care in opening this carefully. They have shredded through the wax cappings and taken the honey. This is not normal behavior from bees that own this hive. They would be protecting it, but these bees don't really care. They're just here to take the remains of it. It's been mostly emptied out. There's a couple of cells still left over. But what robbing means is that this hive is completely dead. The bees came in, they'll kill the queen, they'll kill all the bees and overrun it and then steal the resources. So that is done, and there's nothing we can do to save it. The other bees have taken all of the honey and redistributed it. And judging by the weight of particularly this box here, I know where most of it went. So, you know, that's sad. That is Mother Nature. She leaves nothing. Everything is taken. Wow. So, yeah, that's one of them. This is my original hive that I started off with. And so, if this one dies, I'm gonna have to start crying on the channel. Oh, there's a dead bee up here. That doesn't bode well. But they're less flighty. They're not as immediately taking the piss. Now I'm going to go straight into the middle here to see if this hive is also being robbed or if it is still. Oh, that is heavy. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Okay. That is looking better. These bees, you know, there's not a lot of them, but they're not running around like crazy like this is, you know, they're in a foreign hive. And particularly the center frame looks pretty packed. So I'm gonna pull this out and take a look. You know, the main thing is we gotta find the queen. If the queen is still there and she's laying, then the hive has made it through the treatment. So that is really what we're looking for here. Okay, that is not a lot of bees. Not a lot of bees. But they're also not immediately running away. Okay, set this guy down. All right, look at this. Okay. So we can see some cap brood. We see plenty of larvae that are rolled up down in those cells, and we don't see any bees that have deformed wings. So this hive has so far made the treatment, and even though it is weak, you know, we're talking about this frame and this other frame in here, Let's see if we can find Freddie, the original queen. Freddie. Now Freddie, there she is. All right. Now, called it. Here. Where did you go? Freddie! Look at her. Alive and well. She used to have a green dot, but it is now almost gone. I recognize her just by the pattern on her abdomen. And Freddie looks like she is very alive. That is so good to see. So this is the end of the second year for Freddie. She's made it through several formic acid treatments so far and is alive and well. It's so beautiful to watch. Okay, but that's not the end. To quote our next president, here's the deal. I'm gonna hopefully not regret that come November 3rd. Now, this hive here has been 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's only about a frame of bees. They cannot possibly defend this against robber bees, against ants. There's ants running around trying to get in. Look at all those yellow jackets. Have they ever done anything by themselves? Just mooching off of the bees' work. Wow. So what we'll do is take these frames and take out the empty ones, compile some of the full ones, and collapse it down into only 1, maybe 2 boxes, which they can defend, which they can keep warm in the night, and then hopefully they can go into the winter and come out strong next year and start making some of that good honey. Just look how rugged these cells are that have been opened compared to, for example, a clean opening that they would do. So luckily, I happen to know how to store honey in a safe way in jars in my apartment. Gladly will relieve them of the burden of having to defend all this honey. Now I will of course leave them with a couple of frames. I'm just going to shuffle these around, sort out the very empty ones, and leave them enough for them to defend and feed themselves. And so that is that. They have a bunch of pollen in here. They have some honey up here. I think they'll be able to defend this amount of territory, and that'll give them a chance to recover from their small numbers. And as they grow, I'll be stacking these boxes back on here. And who knows when that is going to be. But for now, this is how we're going into the winter. And so this is the hive where all the honey went. I mean, look at this. It is absolutely chock full. Possibly, probably definitely the strongest hive I have right now, and they completely ransacked one of the weaker ones. And so they have now accumulated a box of honey that is impressive. I think it is time to relieve them of this burden, and judging by how aggressive they're flying about, they know what's about to happen here. Oh my god. That is a slab of honey. Wow, look how thick they built that out. Incredible. Now, this hive is actually doing extraordinarily well, and I wonder why that is. I think it might have to do with the genetics of the queen. She is who I've called baby queen, a very small queen who was generated from the original queen that we put in here when we got the hive in April, installed it in episode 1. That queen was overthrown to give rise to baby queen. And baby queen has done one hell of a job. Look at this, is absolutely bustling. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. And that just goes to show you want to have a diversity of genetics in your bee yard, because some just do better. And that is, this is one of them. And if it's the surviving hive, I might source my queen from it for the next year. So it's very important. Oh, wow. They're all real pissed at me, but I miss such vigorous bees now that all the others are going down. This is what it's supposed to be like. Wow, they're on my phone. Woo. Amazing. Absolutely awesome. This is incredible. They're doing so well. Now, they're also by far the most aggressive hive that I have. Even the yellow jackets are staying out of it. So I wonder what that has to do with it. Oh, no, there is a yellow. Oh, and there is our queen. Baby queen, not so baby anymore. Crushing it. There is baby queen now. Still a baby, but damn, she's done a hell of a job. Oh yeah, they have been thoroughly riled up here. Do apologize, guys. Do apologize. It's just how it is. All right, I don't know if you can hear my voice over the bees attacking my phone. Here's what I did. I collapsed it into 2 boxes from formerly 3 boxes, took out a lot of honey, took out some empty frames too. And so now they have, this hive will be fine. I have no doubt they're gonna come out strong. And you know, before they kill me right now, I'm gonna close this thing back up. Oh my gosh. Okay. So here is the mass balance. These are all empty frames and boxes, which will be, you know, they were left empty by the bees. So this is all the space that they were defending for no reason, right? So this will be, I'll scrape them all clean and then freeze them. That's just so nothing can grow in the wax and the pollen that is still in there. Here are the 2 boxes where I've compiled the honey frames. I have no idea how much it is. But these will be harvested. I don't know, maybe it's going to be, no, not that much, but not an unreasonable amount of honey, just a little bit, like maybe 40 pounds. And it's got a little bit late, sun is gone. So this is where we're at, the empire in decline, so to speak. We got single story hive, single story, double story, single story, double story. This is the one that got robbed. It has 0 stories. It is dead. Single story, double story. And so I think we are now in a solid position to go into the winter and for these bees to be able to keep the space warm, defend it, and then expand the colony again when the rain comes and they can go out and fly. All right, we have extracted the honey from all those surplus frames, and this is what it turned out to. Like I said, it's definitely not a lot of honey, but it's a non-trivial amount of honey. So, you know, I'm just kidding about that single jar. We have another jar. We have some more jars. We have some more jars. We have some bigger jars. Oh, I gotta move back. I gotta move back on this. Okay, oh, we got some bigger jars, and then we got some cut comb, so this honey will just be cut, and the comb, oh, there's a bee. Oh, the bee's gotta get out of there. We're gonna just put this cut comb into the honey, and then, of course, you know, some essentials on the very right side there to, you know, lubricate the process of harvesting honey. If you want to see the full details of how a honey harvest is done, do check out episode 10. We skipped it in this time. All right, so that is a wrap for season 1, I guess, of Being with Tim. We've covered all sorts of things: how to start a hive, what happens when queens get replaced, how to treat colony collapse disorder, how to resize the hives, how to make splits, how to harvest the honey, how to make candles, a lot of different things. So feel free to look through all the episode titles to see what you're most interested in for more details. So going to the winter with 7 hives out of 9 that we had at the peak looks like a pretty good deal. So if they all go through the winter, they'll each produce about 100 pounds of honey next year. This year, we only harvested about 160 pounds of honey in total, which is a lot of honey. That is a ridiculous amount of honey overall. If you're eating it all by yourself, that's probably not the RDA amount of sugar for you to be consuming. So we'll be back next year, possibly, for season 2 of Being with Tim. So if you enjoyed some of these videos, if you have any more questions or topics you'd like me to cover, you know, should I be in a pink bathrobe for the whole thing? Do I need to spice it up in some other way? For comedic value, let me know. And finally, do not forget to vote for November 3rd. No matter what you think is going to happen, make sure you don't regret not going to the polls. So please, please, please vote for science for Joe Biden. That is it. See you next year.